This commercial building along Legion Drive is set for demolition to make way for a new apartment complex. But before that happens, its owners donated the defunct space to the Lexington Fire Department, where they'll spend the next 2 weeks training and honing their skills. Chief of Training Jordan Sauce says it's an opportunity for all of his crews to go back to basics.
They're our bread and butter. It's hose advancement and deployment. We can do search and rescue. We can practice RIT, or Rapid Intervention Team functions, which is for downed firefighters.
All while doing so in a realistic setting. As they progress through these weeks, he says they'll move on to more advanced exercises. Chief Sauce says they can try to recreate things at the training academy, but moving through a real-life building presents them a unique learning experience that would otherwise be too costly.
So we can damage walls, we can breach walls, we can breach the ceilings, we can breach floors if we have to, not necessarily in this structure, but in other acquired structures. We can practice techniques that it's hard to replicate on the training ground.
Chief Sauce says these companies will continually rotate in and out of the facility on 2-hour shifts through Friday, April 7th. He says their goal is to give each and every one of their hundreds of firefighters an opportunity to train here, one that doesn't come very often. In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.